Flick Flops, a random review of all of the films we brought to you. We ranked, we read it, we tried to decide which movie deserves a second ride.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Welcome back to Flip Flops, man.
I got some poison ivy I'm playing with right here, man. Talk about.
Hey, welcome back to Flick Flops. This is one of our ending episodes of the year 2024. We did a review. We talked about some of the movies that we saw this year and reviewed, and we talked about some of the ones we thought were terrible, some of the ones we liked. But in this one, we thought we would discuss some films. It's funny because we talked about what movies are we looking forward to seeing next year.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I only know of a couple.
Yeah.
So we're totally going to be winging this episode, just for the record. I looked up some. I do know of a couple movies that are coming out that I'm kind of looking forward to. I'm sure, Andy, you're going to have some that I don't know of.
And there's
I'm also looking at a list.
A lot of movies coming out next year.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got like a list of about 17, and that was just like really getting nitpicky about which ones do I really want to see.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm interested to hear them because I've only got a few, and you might actually get me excited about a few from your list. So
yeah, I think I will. Let's we just will go back and forth a little.
Yeah. Well, it'll be short on my side, but yeah.
All right, I'll start with the first one, Gary. And I started doing these in order of when they were coming out, and then I just kind of threw that out the window.
Yeah.
So I mean, this movie, the first one I'm going to talk about, is coming out in January. It's called September 5th or September 5, which is about the 1972 Olympic hostage crisis.
Right. Yeah, we've been seeing trailers of that one in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not really. If anybody watches any of our stuff, you know, Gary and I, at least especially me, I lean towards horror and thriller, suspense type stuff. This is historical, but it's an interesting topic, and I do have a fascination with some history. So I'm looking forward to this one, and I will go see this one when it comes out. And that's in January. I think it's like early January, like January 3rd or something like that.
Yeah, that's one that I've been seeing the trailer for, and we've been going out to see movies, and Tara has leaned over every time and gone, I'd like to see that. Like, I'm interesting that she's interested in it too.
And they use actual archival footage intermixed with the film. So you'll hear, like, you know, what was the announcer's name? McKay.
Right.
You actually hear you see his footage.
Right.
So anyway, I mean, again, we were young. God, we don't remember it.
We were toddlers, I think, during this time
young.
period. So.
I remember hearing about it though, so it's fascinating to me. So I got that one, and
well, I've got another one that's actually coming out in early next year in January. It's one that I will say originally I wasn't. I heard the name. Knew, obviously, you sort of know what feature is.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I don't know that I'm that interested. But now we've been seeing some trailers for it. I'm like, that looks like it could be good. Still on the fence, but Wolfman.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know anything about it because the first few trailers they showed, the teaser trailers, have just been the name and you hear audio. But now they've shown a little bit of it, and I'm like, okay, all right, I could get on board with seeing this maybe.
Right, I'm on board. Although I will say I'm not sold on it. I'm not a huge Wolfman.
Right, me neither.
You know, when you think of the classic
Teen Wolf.
Oh, I mean, listen, that goes without saying, Gary. It's a cliche for a reason.
Right.
You know, there's the universal horror monsters. Everybody knows them. Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Invisible Man, whatever. I can't say that I'm a huge Wolfman
Count Chocula, Fruit Brute.
Yeah, right. Fruit Brute, definitely. Just took my train of thought.
Sorry.
But I am curious because I'm a horror fan, and I will always reach for horror and hope that it surprises me. And I like what's the young actress? Is it Garner? Anyway,
I know who you're talking about.
From Ozark.
Julia Garner. Yeah.
Julia Garner from Ozark. never seen this girl before, never heard of her in my life. I'm watching Ozark. I'm like, who is this young actress? Like, jeez.
Right.
So
She's yeah.
yeah, I'm on board with her. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. I hope it surprises me, but it's on my list too.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those ones too where I hope I don't see anything more from the trailer.
Right.
I feel like
Yeah.
what I saw is enough. Now I'm intrigued. If I go see it, I hope that's all we see.
A few moments later.
Gary, one is just it's not a new film, but it's a re-release of a film that I know we both love, and it's going to come out in IMAX for a limited run. And that's Seven.
Ah, interesting.
So I'm going to definitely go see that if I can. I love Seven. It's one of the it's in that top 5 for me of films that there's a reveal that you're like,
Now, you know what's interesting about this? A friend of ours, Jeff, has told me recently that he's like, have you seen that? Recently. I was like, no, not really. He's like, I don't think it holds up. I was like,
what?
Really?
Really? Oh gosh. Well, I haven't seen it, so maybe.
And I haven't either. I haven't watched it in years, but I know that I hold that pretty high in my catalog.
It's up there with my Memento, Usual Suspects.
Yeah,
it's in that family of films.
And what better way to see it than IMAX? Why not?
Yeah, I want to go see it. So that's that. But another one that I got, a new one that's coming out that I wrote down called Alto Nights. This is basically, I just wrote down 2 words: Mob, De Niro. I'm kind of in. I like mafia films, and in this film, when I read, and again, I don't know much about it because a lot of these films they haven't released a lot yet.
Yeah,
De Niro plays 2 roles. He
Faster than you. Saw you coming, you shitheel. I'm standing here. You make the move. You make the move. It's your move. You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here. Who the f*** do you think you're talking to?
plays 2 characters in a film about 2 mob families fighting for power in the city, and he's on both sides. Not the same person. He's playing 2 different people, but anyway, yeah.
Sounds like a perfect film for a narcissist.
What? I mean, look, look, Pacino's the greatest in my opinion, but I'll go see a De Niro mob film anytime.
Here's one, Andy, that I don't think's on your list, but I'm going to bring it up because I'd be willing to bet that you want this to be one of the films we review next year.
Do it.
Starring David Howard Thornton.
Oh yeah.
And the movie's called Screamboat. Which would be
not on my list, but yes.
Which would be is it from the same people? I don't think it is. Is it from that group that did the Winnie the Pooh or not? I'm not really sure.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But it is another one of those movies where it's like, here we go, man. Something's in the public domain. Let's jump on it and make a movie. Now, The Mousetrap was terrible. Maybe Screamboat's a better version. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a take on the Steamboat Willie, correct?
Right, correct.
That's what they're alluding to. Got it. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to see that one. There's no doubt about that, Gary. I mean, I don't know if we'll review it, but I will see that one. Gary, one I mentioned to you earlier off camera, Mickey 17.
Right, and that's one I did not know about, but sounds interesting, especially from what you were telling me.
Go watch the trailer. It looks fun. It's sci-fi, which is really not my thing. Robert Pattinson, he plays basically a disposable employee at a company, and when his usefulness is no good, they just kind of incinerate him, and he regenerates as another version of himself. But he retains, I think, a lot of his memories from the past. So he's kind of, respawning basically.
Yeah.
And it's just done just from the clip alone. It looks like it's done very well with some tongue-in-cheek humor in it, and I think it'll be entertaining. It's gonna be movie of the year, absolutely not, but I think it'll be entertaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down because that is one of the ones I want to watch the trailer.
I knew
on.
nothing about it until I started watching previews, and I was like, "What's this movie?"
And that's not even your genre, really. So
not at all. Yeah, it's very 12 Monkeys.
I will bring up another one that I'm interested in. We talked in our last episode about the future of horror briefly, just talking about long legs and that, from Osgood Perkins, The Monkey, done from the Stephen King short. Is that correct? The short
on my list. Yeah, it was from like Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's,
I can't even
see what he does with it. I don't think they've
I don't even know what it's about, to be honest. I don't remember. I know I've read it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, and I don't even need to.
Just the clip doesn't give you anything.
No, and I actually kind of like that. That's one of the ones where I'm like, okay, I trust the filmmaker now.
Well, so you got to keep James Wan is the guy who's making the film, which is the guy from Saw.
I see one of the producers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's got that pedigree behind him, Saw and all of those other horror films that he's done.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I trust, like you said, you trust the filmmakers, the people bringing you the film, not necessarily the actual director, but the people bringing you the film. So yeah, that's on my list. It was good. I mentioned I need to do two more real quick too, like I did. One that's coming out that it's really something I don't. It's not a category we talk about a lot, but films that I do kind of enjoy, maybe quietly. A movie called F1, and it's just about F1 auto racing. Brad Pitt's in it, and a handful of other people. I'm not gonna say it's great, but I do get a kick out of watching some of these car racing films. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna hype it anymore. But that's on my list. And then speaking of James Wan, on my birthday, Gary, September
3.
September 26th, Saw 11 is released.
Interesting. You know what? I don't know if we've talked about this before. I haven't seen all of the Saw movies.
I haven't either.
So I feel like that's one I need to go back and watch all. I think I saw the first 3.
I think I see a podcast topic when we talk about the Saw films, and maybe we'll watch them and rank
maybe
them.
leading up to the 11th one. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Because I mean, the first one was, I think, just groundbreaking. It was unbelievable, and I loved it. And
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this. And again, it's on my birthday, so happy birthday to me. I'm gonna go watch this movie and eat some popcorn and some snow caps. That is the go-to snacks, by the way, snow caps and popcorn for those that are keeping score at home.
All right, Andy, I've got one for you. It's called Snow White. I'm just kidding. I'm not interested in that movie.
I thought you were gonna say Wicked too.
I don't know that anybody's interested in this.
Let me get Wicked.
I know for a fact you've not seen any of these films. And I believe that this is another series that I think you should go back and watch, even though in this case, they do matter seeing part of it, but for the rest of the films, they don't matter. And that is The Final Reckoning, Mission Impossible.
I thought, I thought about you say that. Yeah.
And look, I thought the last one was phenomenal. I really enjoyed the last Mission Impossible. It is leading into this film. I'm kind of getting the impression that maybe this might be the last one. I don't know if they've said that or not, or if I'm just,
or at least for Cruise.
Imagine that, maybe. But I loved the TV show. So when the movie came out, I was totally into the movie. I thought they did a great job with it. I've always enjoyed these movies, and that's one I'm actually like, that's high on my list of movies that I'm definitely looking forward to this coming year.
And look, oddly enough, I can't tell you why I haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible films.
Yeah.
Not that I've been too busy. I just have not seen them. So I will endeavor this coming year, the new year, to watch those and get caught up. So, so Gary, let me go with one it's a remake.
Okay.
Coming out in November of next year, and that is The Running Man.
Oh.
There is a remake of that coming, yeah.
Interesting.
Based on the Richard Bachman book, which we never find
another Stephen King reference.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
The original movie, of course, starred Richard Dawson and Arnold Schwarzenegger. You hear me now, believe me later.
Right.
But I mean, look, I'm a King guy. I like the guy's writing, so
Yeah.
I had to emphasize writing.
Any
I like.
any do we know anything else about it?
I didn't dig
It's
into it. I
anything?
saw it in the passing. I was like, "Whoa, ooh, I'm excited because
Oh, director and screenplay Edgar Wright.
okay,
That's cool.
what do I know him from?"
You would know him from Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Did a lot of movies with Simon Pegg and
Oh, okay.
they got Hot Fuzz, The World's End. Did you ever see The World's End? I bet you haven't, and it's a really good movie.
Okay.
He did Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Looks like he did one of the did an Ant-Man movie, Baby Driver. Did you see that movie? That was a good movie
Yeah,
too.
that was actually a really good movie.
Yeah. And then just recently, this is interesting, and the reason I was kind of surprised to see his name. And this is an older movie, but I just for the first time 2 nights ago watched The Last Night in Soho, which is something that he directed.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I recommend that movie. That one was a surprise for me.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't recall much about it anyway, but Edgar Wright, so that's interesting.
Okay, good.
Running
There you
Man. And it's starring Glenn Powell, Katie O'Brien, Josh Brolin's in it, Lee Pace, Michael Cera's in it. Really? Should be interesting. William H. Macy. All right.
There you go. Running Man.
Let's see what else I've got. I've got a movie that's coming out in. See if it's got a date on here. I think I may have already passed it, and there's so many movies, dude. It's really hard to even find it. I am not sure when this film comes out. I feel like it's sometime in the spring, but it's called The Amateur.
Don't know.
With Rami Malek.
Okay.
Looks pretty interesting. I saw part of the trailer. I try not to watch too much of any trailer anymore. I just like to see a few minutes to give me the gist of it and then move on. But it looks pretty interesting. It looks like one of those films. Look, I will, if you've realized anything about movies that we reviewed and things that I like, I love revenge type stories. I love anything in that sort of thing. And from what I gathered from the trailer, I believe it's kind of like a John Wick kind of thing in a way where I don't think action or anything's like that necessarily, but I think somebody kills his wife or something, and he's going to have his revenge.
Revenge on it. Yeah. Good.
Now, again, I don't know a whole lot about it. That's just what I got from the first 30 seconds, and then I moved on because that's enough for me. Anything revenge related, I'm in.
Well, speaking of that, there's another John Wick coming out.
Is there?
Yeah, it's titled From the World of John Wick or the Universe of John Wick. And it's called Ballerina.
Okay.
It looks like they're trying to introduce a new character so Keanu can step away and the storyline can continue. It's all the hotel's involved and everything and all that fun stuff. So,
all right.
And again, if you're talking about revenge films, know that the Accountant 2 is coming. They're doing a sequel to that.
And Ben Affleck's in that one?
He is in that one.
Yeah, that was a surprise movie. I enjoyed that.
Love The Accountant. I mean, just totally caught me off guard on that one.
I will mention a movie that my wife turned to me when we saw the trailer and said, "You think the kids would want to see that?" And I was like, "I don't think I want to see that." And that is... So I'm not looking forward to it, but maybe my kids will want to see a Minecraft movie.
Oh yeah.
Little on the weird side for me, but whatever.
I saw the preview. The clip looks interesting. It's not for me, but yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah, not for me either. But
again, special effects.
Minecraft fans.
Well, special effects are just amazing anymore. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a movie, Gary, you can look it up. It's called The Surfer.
Thanks for making me look it up.
Well, so it stars our boy Nicolas Cage.
And
it was supposed to be released this year. and it says
I'm a
TBD.
sucker for that.
There's a wave coming in, brah. So anyway,
Oh, them-
it's like he's a father and his son's a surfer, and he's coming back to the beach he was a surfer dude on, and find out that there's a group of guys have taken over the beach, and it's now their beach. You're not welcome here, old man. So sounds awesome.
I'm interested.
Oh, I'm
Speaking
going just to see
speaking of
Nick Cage.
interested, I don't know that is there anything any information on this one at all? I don't know. But Trey Parker is directing an upcoming comedy.
I saw that.
And although there's no title for it or anything,
Untitled,
I mean,
yeah.
just the fact that it's Trey Parker, I'm gonna have to see that.
Yeah.
Gonna have to check it out.
Well, so I gotta mention, I know you are super stoked about these two films. I know I am. I think they're both coming out in February. That'd be Bambi, The Reckoning, and Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare.
You'd cry too if your Peter was banned. All
Right.
right, so
By Reese.
are those are both in the catalog of the
Yeah, the
okay.
Pooniverse.
Yeah, Poona. That's right, the Pooniverse. I forgot about that.
I can't
Oh.
wait.
And I'm sure you're gonna. I'm
Well,
sure you're gonna
water
make
field.
me go see those.
Oh, Gary, you'll be the person in the theater. You gotta go.
Oh shoot!
I've only got two more to talk about after this, Gary. So
I've got one I've been seeing some trailers for recently that I don't. It's kind of like Wolfman to me. Like I'm on the fence whether I want to see it or not.
yeah,
But it's intriguing to me, and that's Sinners. Have you seen the trailer?
okay,
for
yeah,
that?
I have seen, and I'm not like you. I'm not sure that I want to see.
I'm-
I do, but I'm like,
I'm interested.
I'm not sold yet.
Right. Yes, I'm definitely interested though. It looks like it could be.
The trailer looks
Interesting.
really good, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have three more. I'm sorry. So there's a sequel. Another sequel is coming out. Nobody 2 is coming out.
Okay.
I love that film. Great, And then the other one's a sequel too. I forgot about you. I didn't even think about this. Well, yeah, it says sequel.
There's a lot of
The-
sequels.
I Know What You Did Last Summer has a sequel coming out, and that harkens way back to the 90s.
Yeah, that's one that they don't have a name for yet, right?
Right. It's like-
Untitled.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that just because back in the day, Kevin Williamson could do no wrong. And I don't know if how much he's involved in this or not, but yeah, he does a good job with his films. And then I have one more if you want me to go and throw it out.
Yeah, because I'm trying to find one that I thought was supposed to come out next year, but I could be wrong.
There's one that we've seen the previews for many times, and I forgot about till I scrolled. It's called Flight Risk.
Oh yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, that movie, that one is tough, man.
I know.
I see the trailer and I'm like, it's got a lot of question marks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in. I'm gonna go see it. I know that, but just will
But
it be a flick flop? I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't know. I do see Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is on here. I thought the first movie was not terrible. I actually kind of enjoyed it.
I don't think I saw it.
Now You See Me 3.
Oh yeah, I have that on there too. Sorry.
Did not like the second one all that much, but the first one I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's a neat concept. Yeah, I forgot that one. I skipped right over that in my
You've
list.
got the Black Phone 2, which I'm pretty sure you've not seen Black
I have
Phone. I
not.
think we talked about this.
But is it good?
It was actually a good movie. That's one where I saw the trailer and the trailer made me not interested. And then Jeff, who I talk about a lot on here, a friend of mine, he told me, that's a good movie. I was like, really? All right, I'll watch it.
Is that a Joe Hill thing?
That I don't know. I don't believe so. I could be wrong though.
He wrote something. We can look it up later.
Yeah.
But I felt like that was Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. So
who does not go by King because
he wants to be a writer on his own.
No, he doesn't want to be called Joe King. He wants to be taken serious. He wants to be taken serious.
You're joking.
Yeah, there were a couple on here. The one that I thought I had seen, but I guess it's not actually until 2026 is the Batman 2. Which if you've not seen the Batman, Andy, first of all, why? Because you're a Batman fan.
Yeah, I have with Pattinson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it a lot, actually.
I mean, look, I've liked pretty much all the Batman movies, with the exception of the
2 and 3 of Tim Burton.
Yeah. Well, the
and then you've got the Joel Schumacher days.
Schumacher versions. I didn't.
2 wasn't actually bad. 2 wasn't bad.
2 wasn't bad. It's when it became the Joel Schumacher, and I'm not digging on the guy. They just weren't great. But I mean, Batman's he's the greatest detective. So
now there is a new Superman coming out next year, which
the problem for me is I'm so done with superhero films, except for Batman. I'll still go see him, but man, I just can't. I'm so bored with them.
It's a tough sell. Real quick, I will mention a couple more because there are 2 more that one of them I'll watch it. Maybe not in the theater necessarily, but Megan 2.
I saw that.
Megan 2.0. The first, that was actually surprisingly good. I was surprised with the first one. When I saw it, I didn't have. That's one of those ones. I think the expectations were low, and so then therefore it performed. It really wasn't that bad. But the other one that I'm definitely interested in is 28 Years Later.
Okay.
Which
I saw that. I wasn't sure.
I know zombies have been overdone in that, but the 28, whatever you want to call it, franchise, the 28 thing, those were actually really good. And you've got Danny Boyle and Alex Garland wrote the screenplay. It's bringing back Cillian Murphy. I think that's going to be good. I'm looking forward.
I thought you were going to say the next installment, the Insidious. There's one of those coming out.
Yeah, they kind of lost me on that Red Door.
And hopefully some kind of exorcism film would be out next year.
Right. At least 2. I think we haven't.
I mean, Russell Crowe's not doing anything.
I'm sure there's more, but I think that's enough for the discussion. If there's any that anybody else is interested in that we did not mention, put them down below, man. We'd love to hear some. I'd like to see. I knock on trailers, but I do like to get a little bit of a gist of some of the films coming out to get an idea what's coming, and just enough to hook me.
Yeah.
So if we missed something, let us know, or let us know something that you're looking forward to next year.
Absolutely.
This is a great year with a lot of good movies. Definitely some turds. Looking forward to 2025 and hoping that there's
less turds.
Less turds. More good films.
Life is always better with less turds.
Yes.
That's write it down. That's
is that a Andy quote?
That'll be a cliche in the future. Life is better with less turds.
Anything else you got, Andy?
I don't, man. For those of you that watched with us this year, thank you so much, and hope you have a happy New Year, and hope you stay with us next year and grow our little film watching community.
Yeah, definitely get in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year.
Goodbye.
Was wild, a world around.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.